Live, local, late breaking. This is WNBF News at 4.
Next on your only local news at 4, arming first responders against COVID-19. A look at the first fire and EMS crews in our area vaccinated against that deadly virus.
It's been a phenomenal season and our first bowl game that we've ever had in the history of our football program. So this is one we'll remember for a long time.
A game with a big meaning. Why the Cure Bowl is about more than just wrapping up a historic season with a win for the Chanticleers. First, though, this afternoon, our attention is on the severe weather potential. In your certified most accurate forecast, the threat for strong winds and heavy rain prompting a first alert weather day for tomorrow. Today looks beautiful, though. Meteorologist Robert Whitehurst breaking down the timeline for the strong storms. First at 4. Not great timing, Robert.
No, not a great forecast for tomorrow. The good news is for Christmas, we will clear it out. But for the next 24 hours or so, the focus will be on the chance for 2 rounds of storms for tomorrow. And you'll notice this has changed a bit from yesterday. The Storm Prediction Center, who puts out these outlooks, actually increased the odds a bit of severe weather. A 3 out of 5 on the scale for the areas in brown. So mostly up in the eastern North Carolina, a small portions of Horry County. Most of our area in that 2 out of 5 on the scale. So not expecting a big outbreak of severe weather, but some strong gusty winds and that isolated tornado threat, something we will need to watch for tomorrow. There's the cold front right there, still well off to our west. So it will take some time to get in here, and it's relatively quiet here through this evening. An isolated shower or 2 into tomorrow morning. Our threat for severe weather starts to ramp up after lunchtime. We'll have a look at that timing of those storms and that much colder Christmas forecast in a few more minutes.
Governor Henry McMaster's staff tells WNBF News he plans to issue a new COVID-19 executive order tonight. This as the current order is set to expire, and it also comes as restaurant and bar owners urge McMaster to lift the 11 p.m. last call order ahead of New Year's Eve. WNBF News will update you on the terms of that order just as soon as it's issued. Now we want to get you up to speed on the latest when it comes to the coronavirus. South Carolina health officials announcing nearly 3,600 new COVID-19 cases today, along with 49 new deaths. Horry County reported 164 new cases of the virus. Florence County reported 198 new cases. In Greenville County, they continue to account for the greatest number of cases statewide. More than 700 new active cases reported today alone. Of the 49 new deaths reported today, several occurred in our area, with new deaths reported in Horry, Dillon, Florence, Marion, and Marlborough counties. And some other important things to know from today's update. The percent positive is now at 22%. Hospital bed occupancy is at 86.5% in Horry County, about 87% in Florence County. There are more doses of the Pfizer vaccine coming our way. Today, the Department of Health and Human Services announcing the Trump administration is set to purchase 100 million additional doses. Pfizer will deliver at least 70 million doses by the end of June. The remaining doses will be delivered no later than July 31st. Including this latest deal, the federal government purchased a total of 200 million doses of Pfizer vaccine for $4 billion. When it comes to the Moderna vaccine, the company expects to deliver some 20 million doses to the U.S. by the end of this year. First responders in Georgetown County among some of the first fire and EMS teams statewide to start to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. WNBF News reporter Catherine Phillips is live now in Murrells Inlet. And Catherine, tell us how many first responders in Georgetown have now received that vaccine up to this point.
Hi, Eric. As of today, 56 first responders in Georgetown County have received that vaccine. That's according to the Emergency Services Director here in Georgetown County. Now, they are included in Phase 1A of distribution because they often are doing critical medical care. Now, Tidelands Help says the upcoming week they'll continue to vaccinate members of Georgetown County Fire EMS, Midway Fire Rescue, Murrells Inlet, Garden City Fire, as well as Georgetown City Fire Department. Tidelands says they've given the shots to first responders at their hospital rather than having the vaccines done by the departments themselves. Tidelands says much like their frontline healthcare workers, first responders are often in close contact with people positive for the virus, and they likely don't always know it. Georgetown County Emergency Services Director Brandon Ellis says while it's not required for county employees, he's proud of how quickly they've been able to get people vaccinated.
If we have a large number of folks that are quarantined, obviously it puts a strain on our EMS system. Could lead to shortfalls, could lead to staffing issues, so on and so forth. We feel like that it's just an added level of protection for them.
right now between Tidelands Health Waccamaw and Tidelands Health in Georgetown. The hospital says they have 62 people currently hospitalized with COVID-19. They say that's more than what was the summer surge.
All right, and Catherine, have we heard about vaccinations for first responders here in Horry County?
Eric, we've been reaching out to the Horry County Emergency Services Director to learn more about that. And as of right now, they don't have an update on just exactly when they will get the vaccines. But we do know that as of today, some members of the Myrtle Beach Fire Department have received their first dose. We'll bring you more on that coming up at 6.
All right, Catherine Phillips reporting live for us this afternoon from Georgetown County. Catherine, thank you. We have an update now on the number of medical professionals vaccinated at our local hospitals. Tidelands Health says as of yesterday, nearly 500 team members received their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. They continue to hold vaccination clinics for staff each weekday. We also received an update today from Conway Medical Center. Officials there say they've vaccinated about 867 total employees as of 11:30 this morning, though they expect that number to climb to 900 by the end of the day today. And as for the McLeod Health System, officials there say they provided nearly 1,400 staff members with vaccines. They have about 2,000 more vaccinations scheduled during the next 30 days. We know there are a lot of questions about the vaccination process. On WNBFnews.com, we've created a section that's dedicated to breaking down the most important aspects of this process. And it's easy. Just click Forging Ahead on the toolbar for information on things like how you'll know when you're eligible to be vaccinated. We'll continue to update this as we learn more from the state, so keep checking for those updates. South Carolina is reporting one of the lowest numbers of initial unemployment claims since the pandemic began. The State Department of Employment says nearly 3,600 people filed initial unemployment claims last week. That's the 5th lowest since mid-March. Horry County, though, reported the greatest number of new claims in the state, with 424. More than 117,000 people received unemployment benefits last week. Nationally, more than 800,000 Americans filed new unemployment claims last week. Labor Department says 803,000 people filed for first-time unemployment benefits. That is a slight decrease from the week before, but still high, and another sign that U.S. job recovery has run into serious trouble. This just in, Governor Roy Cooper plans to extend a moratorium preventing evictions in North Carolina for people who cannot afford their rent. He plans to extend that moratorium on residential evictions for non-payment of rent through at least January 31st of 2021. Details and language of that moratorium are based on how or whether Congress extends the federal moratorium. And new for you at 4. The man wanted in the death of a North Myrtle Beach man is in custody this afternoon. Officials say the murder happened in Savannah, Georgia, December 14th. Today, Savannah police announced the arrest of 42-year-old Roniel Millian. They say he was arrested yesterday for the murder of 29-year-old Ian Ferris. Millian is also charged with theft by receiving stolen property. This man from Aner is accused of forcing a minor to perform sex acts on him. Horry County police say 39-year-old Ryan Peavy did this to the victim multiple times. Officials found out about the incidents December 5th when officers were called to a home on Gunter's Island Road in Gallivan's Ferry. Peavy was arrested Monday for third-degree criminal sexual conduct with a minor. In a developing story for you now, the city of Florence released statements following an attack that claimed the life of a city employee. The city also released this new photo of Penny Phillips. She passed away Monday night, hours after she was attacked at Northwest Park Community Center. Police believe it was a random act of violence. In a release today, the city says it is taking necessary steps to heal and move forward without a valued member of their team. Mayor Teresa Myers-Irvin was among those to release a statement today. She says she recently met Phillips and says, quote, she expressed a desire to impact our community and had many aspirations to make change happen. In her spirit, we will strive to continue her mission, but for a moment, we will pause to heal as a family and a community. City went on to offer condolences to Phillips' family. 18-year-old Jawan Crittenden is charged in connection with her death. He was arrested the same day as that attack. Well, right now the search is on for 4 puppies stolen from their kennels. I want you to take a close look at your screen. Look at those adorable babies. The Chesterfield County Sheriff's Office says these American Bully puppies were stolen from the Mount Croghan community Monday night. And if you know who's responsible, call the Chesterfield County Sheriff's Office. It is a special week for Teal Nation as the Coastal Carolina football team will play in its first ever bowl game. WNBF Sports Director Gabe McDonald joins us now. And Gabe, the game the Chants are playing has a special meaning as well.
Yeah, that's right, Eric. The Cure Bowl is one of the newer bowl games, this year being just the 6th edition of the annual matchup, but it's perhaps the most significant on the entire circuit. The game serves as a platform to raise awareness for cancer research and recognize those that are fighting cancer or have survived cancer. Funds raised from the Cure Bowl directly benefit cancer research organizations such as the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Since the first game in 2015, the Cure Bowl has helped raise a collective $3.8 million to benefit breast cancer research. CCU head coach Jamie Chadwell spoke on the meaning of Coastal having the chance to help the cause this weekend.
For us to be able to be in a bowl game that contributes to finding a cure for that, that means something special to us, and I know to a lot of our players that have battled that personally, and I'm glad we can represent that, and hopefully with the matchup that we have being a top 25, this will bring more and more people watching the game on ESPN and more folks that will see what the Cure Bowl is about and want to be able to contribute to that and help fundraise to try to find a cure for that. And we're thankful we can play a small part in that.
And to add to the cause of the game, CCU will get to renew an old rivalry with Liberty, a team the Chants were scheduled to play 3 weeks ago. And when you add all these things together, it makes for quite an exciting time. Eric?
It absolutely does, and while we're all looking forward to the outcome of that game, hopefully it'll be the perfect bow on top of what's been really an unforgettable season for those Chants. Gabe, thank you. You can watch the Cure Bowl Saturday at 7:30 in the evening on ESPN. It is the first bowl appearance in Coastal Carolina program history and will mark the first ever neutral site game for the Chanticleers in the program's 18-year history. And Sports Director Gabe McDonald will be back. He'll have much more leading up to the historic game before he actually hits the road himself. He's headed to Orlando. He'll have live coverage from Camping World Stadium beginning Friday night. The clouds, a sign of things to come for your Christmas Eve. It is a first alert weather day as our team monitors the severe weather potential. When the rain and gusty winds move in your certified, most accurate forecast, it's all ahead on your only local news at 4.
Now the certified most accurate forecast from First Alert meteorologist Robert Whitehurst.
We're setting up for an active forecast tomorrow, especially after lunchtime. It'll start with some showers early on, but that severe weather threat will start to increase a bit as we head through the afternoon and evening hours, and those odds have been increased. The Storm Prediction Center puts out these outlooks, increasing those odds, especially up in eastern North Carolina. Got a bigger tornado threat up towards the Outer Banks, all the way down into Wilmington. Now, you'll notice a part of the Grand Strand is in that 3 out of 5 on the scale, but most of our area sitting in that 2 out of 5. So an isolated strong to severe storm, kind of area-wide, a possibility, especially across Horry County and Georgetown counties. The timing, as I mentioned, mainly after lunchtime, and it will come in 2 rounds. The first round is closer to that 2 p.m. time frame, and then the second round arrives with the actual cold front. That will be closer to sunset. The second round, more of a strong wind threat. That first round is where we'll need to watch the threat for an isolated tornado. We can kind of see that here with future radar. The clouds moving in overnight. There'll be some showers around here as we go through the early morning hours tomorrow. Nothing severe at sunrise, just some showers to start the day. Then we'll start to watch the risk of a couple storms trying to form around 1 to 2 o'clock. And notice where these are focused: Horry County, Georgetown counties, and it's these little isolated storms that form in the early afternoon that will have the greatest threat for rotation within these storms. So these are the ones we'll be watching for an isolated tornado threat. If there's good news, those quickly exit our area, head up into North Carolina as we head through 4 to 5 p.m. Then the cold front arrives. This one will have a line of showers and storms with it and likely produce some strong wind gusts as we head through the evening hours, 6 to 7 p.m. across Horry County. Then it all starts to clear out, and still expecting a nice sunny and cold forecast as we get into Christmas. Now, outside of the rain tomorrow, still very gusty. Winds upwards of 30 to 35 miles per hour. Get underneath one of those storms, could push closer to 50 to 55 miles per hour. So it will be a very gusty day. Also a warm day. Temperatures well into the 70s, well above average for this time of the year. Notice all the red in the Carolinas pushing up towards the high end of the scale. But as that cold front moves by, we'll jump down towards the bottom end, unseasonably cold, about 15 degrees below average as we head into Christmas. And that's going to bring our afternoon highs from near 70 tomorrow to 43 degrees for Christmas afternoon. Sunny skies and kind of breezy, so it will be a very chilly into the week and a chilly Christmas day. Certainly not tomorrow, right around 70. In your 7-day forecast looking ahead to the weekend, more of the same. 43 degrees on Saturday, eventually back into the 50s for Sunday.
All right, Robert, and as you just said, tomorrow is a busy day for travel. Many of you with the weather also probably planning to attend Christmas Eve services. So to keep track of the storms, make sure you download the First Alert Weather app. Our certified most accurate weather team will use the app throughout the day tomorrow to update you on the storms expected to roll through. You'll also be notified when our team is providing live updates from our digital alert desk. All right, now let's have a little fun. This week on WMBF News, we're sharing some of our team's favorite memories of holidays past. Here's Chief Meteorologist Jamie Arnold on his favorite Christmas gift growing up. And we should tell you, it is very fitting.
Best gift for me, I was 16 years old at Christmas, and I hadn't been driving too long, and all I had wanted to do was to be a storm chaser. Well, to be a storm chaser, you had to have a camera because you had to document everything. So 16 years old that Christmas, I finally got my camera and considered myself like a storm chaser. Of course, back then it was like a big over-the-shoulder, VHS kind of camera, but I had that, I had my keys, I had my car, and I thought I was officially a storm chaser. So that one definitely sticks out.
Why is it so easy for all of us to picture that? Well, you can catch more of our favorite holiday memories when you join us for a special Christmas Eve edition of Grand Strand Today. It's tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, of course, right here on WMBF News. Christmas came a couple of days early for some kids in Myrtle Beach. The sleigh ride toy handout brought loads of toys to neighborhoods this afternoon, about 1,500 to be exact. Look at all those. Those toys were unloaded. The kids had a chance to pick what they wanted from the tables. After each kid picks their toy, the gifts are loaded up again and brought to another neighborhood. Jeremy Howard of Max Purpose, one of the organizations involved in the pop-up event, says he knows how important it is to give back to the community.
Oh yeah, they're surprised. I mean, they're probably out there playing, and then when they see us pull up and start laying out toys, I mean, they go call their friends. So we have a bunch of kids line up.
I bet. Howard says they had enough toys to visit 4 neighborhoods today. Those toys are purchased by donations from the community. And this, by the way, is the 3rd year for the sleigh ride toy handout. The season of giving also continues in the PD. The Family Mission Center in Darlington held its annual Christmas gift distribution today. That community provided gifts to nearly 160 children this year. While the pandemic created challenges in the program's 5th year, the organizer held on to faith. Ahead on WMBF News at 5, you're going to hear from a mother who's able to place gifts under her family's tree this year, all thanks to that gift drive. There is a modified stay-at-home order for North Carolina, but Governor Roy Cooper wants to make it clear Santa Claus is exempt. So the governor sent out this video message.
This year, Christmas will look a little bit different for all of us, but I want to share an important COVID-19 update about the holiday. In order to finish his official duties on Christmas Eve, Santa Claus will be exempt from the modified stay-at-home order. But just like the rest of us, he knows he still needs to wear a mask. It's important for all of us, even Santa, to continue to practice our 3 W's. Wear a face covering, wait 6 feet apart, and wash your hands often. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you soon, Santa.
And beginning tomorrow morning on WMBF News Today, we're getting an inside look at the work that goes into tracking Santa's journey across the world. We're hearing from officials with North American Aerospace Defense Command, or NORAD, beginning tomorrow morning on WMBF News Today. Our work to track Santa will continue into the evening tomorrow, right here on WMBF News. A done deal no more. Why the president is putting the brakes on a proposed spending bill and what it means for money expected to be sent your way. That's ahead at 4.
Hi, I'm Marilyn Hatley, Mayor of the City of North Myrtle Beach. And on behalf of our city, I would like to wish you and your family a joyous, wonderful Christmas holiday.
In Washington, Christmas week chaos continues as President Trump seemed to threaten a veto of the COVID relief package just approved by Congress. After months of negotiations, the president's asking Congress to rework the bill and increase direct stimulus payments promised to many Americans. Top Democrats immediately agreed with that, putting congressional Republicans in a tough spot. NBC's Alice Barr has an update now from Washington.
President Trump heading home for the holidays after punching holes through an urgently needed COVID relief bill that lawmakers thought was a done deal.
It really is a disgrace.
Overnight, the president posting to Twitter a White House-produced video directing Congress to get rid of what he called the bill's wasteful spending and give more money in direct payments to Americans.
And increase the ridiculously low $600 to $2,000 or $4,000 for a couple.
Democrats had pushed for bigger checks, and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi wants to approve the increase by unanimous consent tomorrow, though the top Republican in the House would have to agree. President Trump was not directly involved in the months of relief deal negotiations, but his Treasury Secretary was, and the White House had said he would sign it, the video surprising many in his own staff. If the president vetoes the bill, Congress can override him, but time is running out, with federal unemployment benefits expiring Saturday for some 12 million Americans. While risking a delay in that critical aid, President Trump offered the gift of pardons and commutations to 20 people, including 2 men convicted in the Mueller-Russia investigation. More pardons expected before the president leaves office. President-elect Joe Biden continuing to build out his cabinet, today introducing his pick for Education Secretary, Connecticut Schools Chief Dr. Miguel Cardona, while promising to safely reopen a majority of schools in his first 100 days in office. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Quiet weather continues this evening. Big changes into Christmas Eve. I'll look at that threat for strong storms here at 4:30.
Live, local, late breaking. This is WNBF News at 4:30.
Coronavirus case numbers are expected to keep rising with the holiday season. National health experts are offering a better idea now of just how many vaccine doses our country could see by next year. Plus, keeping the kids busy during this winter break, unlike any other, can be challenging enough, especially if they've already spent the first semester learning at home. Kate Merriman shares a fun, educational way to spend time with your children. Good afternoon. Thanks for staying with us here at 4:30. I'm Eric Weisfeld. Our First Alert weather team, boy, been getting you ready for a stormy Christmas Eve all week, and they are continuing to track that chance for severe weather as we head into tomorrow. Meteorologist Robert Whitehurst has an updated look at what you need to know. He starts us off with his certified most accurate forecast. A nice day today, Robert.
Yeah, beautiful weather this evening. Even tomorrow morning, some showers around, but the threat of severe weather is mainly after lunchtime tomorrow. Those odds have increased a bit. The Storm Prediction Center puts out these outlooks, increasing the chance in the areas in the brown, so mainly up towards Wilmington, the Outer Banks, a 3 out of 5 on the scale. The yellow, which features most of our area, a 2 out of 5 on the scale. So 1 or 2 strong to severe storms, certainly a possibility tomorrow. The main threat, strong damaging wind gusts, although an isolated tornado threat will be there, especially through the early afternoon, something we can't completely rule out. Now through tonight, no severe weather, but we'll start to see some of these smaller showers rolling in, and we'll continue with some downpours around into tomorrow morning. A warm start to the day, 60s around at sunrise. We'll start to see the downpours increasing in coverage. Then we start to see some of these storms into the afternoon. I'll break down those 2 rounds of big changes for Christmas. That's here in a few more minutes.
As many Americans ignore pleas to stay home for the holidays, both the number of new coronavirus cases and COVID-19 related deaths continue to rise. Meanwhile, Pfizer and BioNTech announcing a second agreement with the United States government to supply an additional 100 million doses of the company's vaccine. That deal brings the total number of doses being delivered to the U.S. by next summer to 200 million. NBC's Sarah Daloff reports.
A stark reminder of a dire situation. The U.S. recording more than 3,300 deaths Tuesday, the highest yet in a single day, with more difficult times ahead.
We are, as frontline staff, going to have to be making some very difficult decisions about triaging, unfortunately, who gets what care and who does not.
Officials upping warnings to stay home this holiday.
If you don't have to travel, do not travel.
As an anticipated 85 million Americans hit the road.
Don't think people are going to do exactly what's being told. That's kind of difficult for adults.
Nearly 1/5 of U.S. hospitals say last week at least 95% of their ICUs were at capacity. As case numbers go up, so do more surge tents in California, one of the areas hardest hit right now.
The time to act is now.
Austin, Texas, raising its risk level to the highest possible. But a glimmer of hope on the horizon as vaccinations continue on the front lines. and in long-term care facilities. The federal government ordering 100 million more doses of Pfizer's vaccine.
We could start in April doing what I call open season on vaccinations, namely anybody in the general population who wants to get vaccinated will get vaccinated.
A future that feels far off for healthcare workers trying to stave off a system collapse. Sarah Dolph, NBC News.
Grocery store chain Kroger announcing today it plans to offer the coronavirus vaccine across the country. The company has handled more than 250,000 tests for the virus since the pandemic began and says it plans to hire 1,000 new workers to handle the vaccine operations. In a statement released earlier today, President of Kroger Health, Colleen Lindholt, says, quote, Kroger Health's experienced healthcare providers remain committed to helping our patients and associates live healthier lives. The size and scale of our healthcare operation provides us with the unique ability to efficiently facilitate COVID-19 testing and immunize a large portion of the U.S. population once the authorized vaccines become more widely available. Well, if you're looking for something educational but fun to keep your kids occupied over the winter break, we have a great idea. Here is WMBF News reporter Kate Merriman with one experiment you can actually try at home.
The experiment I'm about to show you is the color changing milk test. You will see an array of colors. Check this out. So here's what you'll need: a bowl or plate of milk, food color, dish soap, and a cotton swab. Now, staff at South Carolina's Connections Academy says the food coloring, what it does is allow kids to see the invisible activity of the milk's fat and proteins and its reaction to the dish soap. Check out your screen right now. Here are the step-by-step tips in achieving this experiment. First, fill the bowl or plate with milk, then drop food color into the bowl. I got a little heavy-handed here. Next, take your cotton swab and cover the tip with dish soap. What happens next is simply where the magic lies. Before your eyes, you will see the colors dance around as you touch the milk with the cotton swab. I also tested out another experiment, giving you a little glimpse of the winter wonderland, and for that one and the instructions for it, you can head over to WMBFnews.com. In Horry County, Kate Merriman, WMBF News.
The newest Disney Pixar movie is out this week, and it's inspired in part by a small, privately owned tailor shop. Why the owner says the filmmakers reached out to it. That's coming up in just 3 minutes. Disney Pixar's latest film, Soul, comes out this week. It's about a musician trying to decide between his passion and a stable job. The movie was made in the California Bay Area, and a small local tailor shop there helped provide some inspiration. Cornell Barnard explains.
You may have passed Zoltan Hoynal and wife Pooja's small tailoring shop on Adeline Street in Berkeley 100 times, but never noticed the cute yellow bungalow.
We've been in Berkeley since 1986.
But Pixar Studios in Emeryville couldn't miss their shop called Advanced European Tailoring. They called right away.
And the other day, another phone call comes and they would like to make a movie.
I did it! I got the gig! That animated movie is Soul, about a musician named Joe, caught between following his dream of making music or taking a stable teaching job. Joe's mom is a tailor. Pixar animators needed to meet a real-life tailor up close. They spent hours with Zoltan and Pooja watching and drawing their every move.
They observe how we work, what we do. They take details, very detail-oriented. Because this is a dying art. Tailoring is a dying art.
Soul's co-director says animators took inspiration from across the Bay Area.
They did a lot of visiting of real barbershops and real tailor shops, including the one you mentioned, so that the animators and the story artists could get a real idea of not just how it looks, but how people move.
Like so many small businesses, it's been a tough year for this tailor shop. They pivoted from alterations to making face masks, but they had no choice. They had to shut their door for 6 months.
Thank you to all of our customers, their support, their loyalty to us.
Customers helped keep the tailor shop afloat with the generous GoFundMe page last spring. Although the shop received no compensation from Pixar, Zoltan, a Hungarian immigrant, says he's honored to have provided inspiration to a movie that has a lot to say.
Yes! This movie takes you back to not just about who you are, what you do, how you do, but everything what you do at the bottom of your soul.
Yeah, big changes arriving tomorrow. Strong cold front organizing off to our west, bringing us the threat of some stronger storms. The first alert forecast is coming up.
And as we get closer to Christmas, just 2 days away now, we still want to see how those of you here at home are celebrating this year. What a beautiful baby. Send us pictures of your decorations, your displays, your babies as well. They could even make it live on the air like you see right here. Go to WNBFnews.com or open the WNBF News app and select Submit a Photo. You're watching your only local news at 4:30.
Now the certified most accurate forecast from First Alert meteorologist Robert Whitehurst.
The clouds start to move in this evening. Rain chances start tomorrow morning, mainly with some showers early on. The threat of stronger storms arrives after lunchtime, right around 2 p.m. here along the Grand Strand. That will be the first round. We'll catch a break through mid-afternoon. Then the cold front brings in another line of storms, that one arriving later in the evening, likely closer to sunset. Strong damaging wind gusts, still the main concern, but that isolated tornado threat can't be ruled out, especially with that first round of storms that starts to get going, as I mentioned, in the early afternoon. So we'll start through tonight. The clouds really filtering in here as we go into tomorrow morning. We start to see some of these downpours, nothing severe to start the day, just some showers around through 11 a.m. to noon. Then we begin to see some of these storms trying to develop, and these are the ones we need to watch for that isolated tornado threat, the ones well out ahead of the cold front. They're in and out in an hour or two because they quickly race up into North Carolina, where there is a greater risk of severe weather up towards Wilmington and the Outer Banks. There's our break around 4 to 5, but then the cold front moves in. It brings in here a line of some showers with a couple storms mixed in as we move closer to 7 to 8 o'clock, moving through Horry County and Georgetown counties closer to 5 p.m. for areas along Interstate 95. That will be mainly a strong damaging wind gust threat, and even outside of the storms tomorrow, very gusty. Wind gusts upwards of 30 to 40 miles per hour. You get some of the stronger storms, those numbers could be higher, but this is just a general wind gust outside of the rain. So it will be a very gusty day, and that rain will start to add up as well, right around a half inch for most of the area. So flooding not a concern, but it will be a soaking rain as we head through the day. Then the cooler weather moves in, a very cold Christmas forecast, 30s in the morning, 42. Christmas Day afternoon, barely getting out of the upper 30s, and Saturday's not really any better, 43 degrees. You see our average high, 57, so we are well below average, 20s around Saturday morning. Then we'll start to climb a bit and kind of right on track for where we're supposed to be this time of the year as we head into early next week. So here's your 7-day forecast. The focus tomorrow, our first alert weather day with that threat of strong storms through the afternoon and evening. Then it's all about the cold weather. 26 Saturday morning, 43 in the afternoon, and just slowly climbing as we head through the weekend.
Plumbing, cooking, even bartending. Some of the jobs I've taken on as part of my Grand Strand Today segment called Hey Eric, Do My Job. By far one of the most physically challenging though, dancing. Here's one of my favorites so far.
Hey, I'm CJ Babb, the choreographer for Godspell the Musical at Myrtle Beach's very own Long Bay Theater. Hey Eric, do my job.
Good morning. So what would have me up so early in the morning? No shower, no shave. Well, I'm dancing, of course. Wait, what? All right, truth be told, I did dance in the production of Brigadoon back in high school, but obviously that was a long, long time ago. But Long Bay Theater asked, so we're gonna see if I still have it. All right, so the production is Godspell. The rookie is me. Here's the choreographer. This is CJ Babb. Boy, do I feel for you today. I got to tell you, first off, I'm not the high maintenance performer, but I have only had 7 hours of sleep. I need 9 to have the memory, to have the motor skills going. But hey, we're going to do it.
We'll work it out.
Tell me what we're doing.
All right, we are gonna learn Light of the World, which is our Act 1 closing number.
Okay.
So it's a big, big fanfare. We're rocking out. We're having a really good time, getting the crowd super excited, and you are gonna be a part of that.
Did I tell you I cannot dance?
It's okay, it's okay. We're gonna muscle through.
I mean, I really cannot dance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then 1, 2, and 3, 4.
Now pull, 2 and 3. Nope. So we're skipping a little bit.
What,
yeah.
is that?
So we're doing 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you got to remember, pull through. Yeah. Then we're gonna point up. Yeah.
Boom, boom, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and pull through. That gives you here, which sets you up for 7, 8. Then this is the one I always freaking forget.
Here you go. 1, 2,
3,
4, 6, 8. Bring it around, rock it out. Yeah.
I got a lot of work ahead of me,
Yeah,
CJ.
you do. Well, we'll get there.
Well, welcome to Long Bay Theater's Godspell costume fitting, Eric.
I'm excited to be here.
Well, why don't you walk me through your jeans? Just flip your camera around. Let's take a look. Oh, I love those Levi's. That's such a classic look.
I've also got cowboy boots.
Oh my gosh, those cowboy boots are fantastic.
Yeah, I love these.
Here's some things that I pulled for you here. And I love that we talked about leisure. Like you sort of are sweatpants, relaxation guy. Of course, I pulled a collared shirt with just a fun pattern on it.
Are those
a little
animals?
leopard, a little leopard on there.
I like
and
that.
then playing with your leisure, this sort of goldenrod hoodie, which will go with your jeans and your boots. And then we'll top the hoodie, just because we're talking pattern, with this floral bomber jacket that hoodie will come out of.
Sweet, I like that.
But I love that.
Inventive. It's a lot more inventive than the way I dress, I think.
Well, that's what I come to do. I mean, I guess that's my side of the job. But I do love the juxtaposition to those cowboy boots. I think will be fantastic. And you're in what I think is the most energetic number in the show, which is called Light of the World.
Right.
And you'll come on as this beacon in your goldenrod hoodie, your floral jacket.
That sounds good. Thank you so much for heightening my outfit. I feel confident now.
Of course. All right, Eric, I'll see you tonight.
I did it. My lifesaver, RJ. He counted me in. How'd I do, RJ?
You did amazing.
Did it look all right? I could not have done it. I was like, count me in. Give me a 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
It was so much fun, so out of my comfort zone, but I tried my best. I had a blast. And if I can do this, I can do just about anything. What are you waiting for? I'm ready to do your job. And all you have to do is email me, eric.weisfeld@gray.tv. Love to hear from you. In your consumer news this afternoon, end of year car deals could save you a bundle of money. Cars.com out now with a list of deals. It could save you thousands of dollars if you need a new vehicle. The site says shoppers throughout this pandemic are consistently moving up their car buying timeline due to concerns about COVID. More than 20% of consumers are expected to purchase sooner than planned. With the holidays already historically one of the best times to buy a car, shoppers can expect strong discounts and incentives from automakers. If you're struggling for that last-minute gift idea, you could give the present of financial health. For kids, consider books and toys aimed at teaching children the value of money, or maybe open a college savings account with tax-free distributions. You could even buy stock in a child's name to help teach them about investing. Experts also say to consider creating a certificate of deposit savings account, which lets you earn higher interest on your cash as long as you agree not to touch that money for a certain length of time. Dr. Deborah Birx, the coordinator of the White House's coronavirus task force, says she plans to retire in the near future. In an interview with the news outlet Newsy, the 64-year-old cited the strain of the experience and what it's put on her family. Birx came under fire after a report over the weekend that despite CDC warnings, prevention guidelines, she spent time with family members at a vacation home after the Thanksgiving holiday. Birx says her daughter and parents have been isolated for the last 10 months. She says she wants the Biden administration to be successful and will be helpful in any role that people think that she can be helpful in. All right, here's a look at what we're working on for your news at 5 o'clock. A new way to address the issue of flooding in one of the most prone areas. Why the answer for the city of Conway revolves around nature. That is new and next for you at 5. Plus, the city of Florence mourning the loss of one of its own. How the victim of what's being called a random act of violence is remembered by the cities she served. And that threat of severe weather as we look ahead to Christmas Eve when the worst of the storms arrive. That's in your First Alert forecast, all when you join us for WMBF News at 5 o'clock.